We're still in the curve, working our way towards mile 31, counting down. My annual check to see if the milepost still exists. But yeah, quite a lot more growth here than last time I was here. It had been cut back maybe 3-4 years ago by the good recreational users. And I think this is, part of the charm of why I love this subdivision. It's my own selfish way of just liking this kind of hidden railway that I can go away to and walk through and remember history, get good exercise, and just enjoy this solitude. Yeah, I know I'm just thinking about myself, but I enjoy it. And I hope you enjoy watching this. And if trains were to happen again, I'd be more than happy to not walk here and be safe and know that trains are working. That's not happening yet. When I was editing this, I realized that it might sound like I'm not a supporter of the idea of the return of trains or other rail activity to this subdivision. I am a supporter. I'm also recovering from a bad cold, so my voice sounds different. But regarding the railway, I try to present the real condition, the reality of the challenges of this line, both the condition of it as well as just the operating challenges just by the actual geography, the curvature, and the grades. Yes, it's a railway corridor that exists, but it exists with plenty of challenges, mainly from the landscape. And I love highlighting those challenges just so that people can see what it is really like. And I would love to see trains run there again. I'd even love to see a high rail bus run here someday. But as I'm walking in this kind of a track condition, it's easy for me just to find some dark humor in the fact that I feel like I'm on a different planet sometime with all of this overgrowth. Hey, I enjoy doing what I do. This is a good time to mention our location, Vancouver Island, on the west coast of British Columbia, and the red dot is just north of the city of Port Alberni. Here's a railway map, and we're looking at the Port Alberni subdivision, which goes from right to left, Parksville to Port Alberni, and the red circle is the area of the hike north of Port Alberni. Here's a closer view of the Port Alberni area, and you can see Cameron Lake on the far right for context. The black is the railway route, and the red circle again is the area of my hike. Here's the close map of the area. Red circle is where I start and end my overall hike, McLean Mill National Historic Site parking lot. Here's the first leg going down the mill spur to the junction, that's the red circle. And then I go in a clockwise direction on the E&N mainline, ending up at mile 28.9 bridge. That's the red circle on the right. And then I backtrack for a way and take a series of trails back to the McLean Mill site. And here's the portion of the hike that's covered by this particular video. And this is where I kind of realized that the curve is over. And I'm now going in a new direction. Working up the Beaufort Slope. I love doing these walk and vlog type of videos. I used to do them quite a bit more. There's one section of this Port Alberni subdivision. I think in 2022 I visited 4 times, all 4 seasons. I really enjoyed that. I'm doing less of it now, mainly because of the broom and the ticks in the summer. I'm busy with other things. There's the logging area down there. So once a year checkup is the schedule that I'm on this now. I like it. Just all my own little hobby. You know, there is a railway here, and between the rails, and you can see a bit of the rail on the right, and you can see the pathway going ahead. That pathway is the railway. But this just gives you an idea of the condition of overgrowth and the situation. I'm really on a forest path that happens to have rails. That's where we are. Coming up to milepost 31. Okay, let's continue walking this forest path with rails. Yeah, right between the rails. Now it opens up a bit, and you're not going to see any railway ties. They're all part of the earth. I can feel the gaps where some of them have disintegrated. There's some. They now make really good homes for wasps to build their nests in. Thankfully, I haven't encountered that. I've seen warning signs that people have left, though. Again, there's the logging. In past hikes here, I've lamented around here about not finding the milepost and thinking it must have gotten knocked down. But then I remembered that it's a bit further up, just before the curve. Not there yet, so I do not give up hope. I like railway signage. I mean, it's because I'm railway orientated on these hikes as much as I like to talk about it looking like a trail. I really enjoy the railway history, and I like the signage. Here we go, milepost 31 there on the right. I'm glad to see it. It was knocked down further before, and I propped it up a couple years ago. Might try some of that now, see if I can improve how it's lying. Okay, here's how I finished a break. I've propped up the sign on a tree so it's more stable, it's more visible going eastbound. I'll show you westbound, it's less visible, but at least it's propped up. It isn't going to fall. Well, whatever. I'm the only one who knows it. Okay, let's continue. Railway east, as if we were going to Parksville. But now we're working our way to milepost 30, a mile away. There's a mountain slope beside me. Sometimes gentler than others, but we are going to be climbing, and we'll have slope above us and slope below us on the right side. Back in the steam locomotive era on this line, there was a water tower around here, about mile 30.9, 30.8, something like that. I think it was on the left. I've looked for evidence before, evidence being concrete foundations, but I found none. So now all I do is just mention it and just continue on. You can hear water, running water coming up. There's a few big creeks in this area, and yeah, that would have supplied the water tower somewhere around here. As I walk through this jungle pathway. Here comes the creek. I think it's one of the Kitsuxis Creek tributaries. Quite significant. Crossed on a culvert now. Likely would have been a trestle before. Oh yeah. Goes all the way up there. Lots of nice waterfalls. through the culvert and out there, and heading down and likely running through McLean Mill property. We'll see that later on in our hike. There's a grease can and a wheel greaser mechanism that used to be right here at the rail. Don't think I've noticed that one before. They're usually about every mile. Grease the wheels of the rail cars as they pass over.